There are anime fans, and then there are Dragon Ball Z fans, and you know the type. They're not afraid to let you know that DBZ is the greatest anime since sliced bread, even though that's probably the only anime they ever watched. It can get insufferable. Sorry guys, you know I still love you. The truth is, anytime I see an article or watch a video of somebody calling DBZ the GOAT, all I can do is laugh. And it's not because I'm a hater. In fact, this anime holds a very, very special place near and dear to my heart. I grew up watching those big time fights and epic transformations just like you, but I can see the cold, hard truth. Now it's time for you to expand your palate and understand one thing. And that's Dragon Ball Z is just not that great, and here's why. Dragon Ball Z is 100% one-dimensional, and if an anime version of the Ten Commandments were to ever exist, then this would definitely be one. From the moment Goku crash-landed onto Earth in the original Dragon Ball series, the main story has always been about his journey to become the strongest fighter. It's become that much more evident in Dragon Ball Z, with every action and reaction moving him one step closer to that purpose. While I can appreciate an anime laser focused on a single story, that doesn't mean that it's GOAT level. In fact, it's just annoying because ultimately nothing else matters. Raditz, Frieza, Cell, Majin Buu, heck everyone. They're all just living in Goku's world right now. Despite Toriyama Sensei's modest efforts to change the series, Dragon Ball Z just couldn't because you know the saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Its success for the past 30 years has been nothing short of impressive. Dragon Ball is a billion-dollar franchise with a fervent and loyal fan base who don't want to see anything change, and that's why the formula never changes. Goku loses to a fake villain who significantly wounds at least one of the G fighters. The real villain is revealed and needs to defeat the fake villains to reach the peak. The real villain starts to crush the heroes and the fake villain because Goku ain't there. Just before the real villain kills everyone, not Goku appears only to make things interesting. The real villain transforms again to defeat the newcomer and basically rinse and repeat until he reaches his final form. Then Goku appears, reaches a new level, and defeats the villain once and for all. Dragon Ball Z's predictable story isn't necessarily bad, it's just boring, and to me that just doesn't make a great anime. I like some of the GOATs like Hunter x Hunter and Cowboy Bebop that use an element of mystery to build stakes throughout the main plot. Dragon Ball Z tried to add stakes many times throughout the series, like when Goku died for the first time. But like 90s boy bands, apparently Goku won't stay dead either. Toriyama Sensei tried again when Goku died again at the hands of Cell, but the intention was to make Gohan the new leader of the series. It still didn't happen. The characters are just as one-dimensional as the stories, and it's because they're directly correlated. Goku wants to become the strongest fighter, Vegeta already thinks he's the strongest fighter, and Gohan doesn't care to become the strongest fighter. Dragon Ball Z basically revolves around these three characters, and they only want to evolve in the way that they want. It's why you see Goku and Vegeta train on other planets for months at a time, or Gohan taking time to study, all effectively relieving themselves from actual family duties. I'd love to see an alternate reality where we just get something different than Goku and Vegeta training montages, but that won't happen in this one. If this were any other anime, people would be saying that this is long overstayed its welcome, but because Dragon Ball Z is so iconic and so popular, it will never go away. Now, before the berating begins, I'm not even saying I want it gone, I'm just saying I don't believe it's worthy of becoming one of the greatest anime of all time. See? Daima just got announced, and to keep you all happy, I'm sure it'll be another mediocre series at best. When your show is titled after something as game-changing as the Dragon Balls, then you're kinda doomed in terms of any respectable story. That's because in a world with a MacGuffin that can grant any wish you want, with very little exclusions, nothing is impossible. We've seen people and entire plants come back together. Any problem can be fixed, which is why bigger challenge for Toriyama Sensei has been how to finagle the story in a way to make the Dragon Balls a non-factor. That's just silly. When faced with a world threat in Dragon Ball Superhero, Bulma and Piccolo make 3 wishes to Shenron, but conveniently forget to just bring Goku and Vegeta back, which would have easily solved that problem. Now, the way they jokingly play this off is clever, but knowing deep down that any problem can be fixed just like this takes the thrill of a show away, in my opinion. I understand that Toriyama can't exactly get rid of the thing that the show is in fact named after, so these recurring silly excuses are all they can actually do. Dragon Ball Z's story pacing is one of the worst in anime. And I remember that painful weekly watching as a kid where the first 5 to 10 minutes was just rehashing the previous episode, the next 10 minutes generally having nothing of any substance happen, and the last part previewing next week's episode. While I didn't care as much then because I didn't have bills to pay. Over the years, when I watched episodes again like Gohan vs. Cell and Goku vs. Frieza, I was wowed at myself for putting up with this nonsense. I get this was purely a production choice, as the anime routinely caught up with the manga, and episodes would need to slow down in order to give Toriyama more time to churn out more content. It still doesn't erase the fact that watching an episode of Dragon Ball Z was no different than watching Waterworld using the Ludovico technique, like Alex in A Clockwork Orange. Now, DBZ may have horrendously bad pacing, but it did pave the way for other uber successful anime to use that in a situation just like this. Anime like One Piece and Bleach have had to go this route as well, and overall, the episodes were marginally better, which is a compelling enough argument to support what they did. Dragon Ball Z has plenty of questionable characters, and one I can't go without mentioning is in fact Mr. Popo, who may very well be one of the strongest in the series. Look, the truth is that his appearance represents an awful and vilified form of caricature that's mocked and belittled black people for a long time. And turns out Toriyama Sensei had other designs for Mr. Popo, which probably looked too villainous, I guess? I don't believe Toriyama had any racist intentions with Popo, because Japanese society just doesn't share the same issues that we do here in the States. But regardless, it makes me cringe every time. Then there's the myriad of unbiased perverts like Master Roshi, a powerful martial artist who single-handedly taught Goku everything he knows in the original series. There's no doubt he is a bona fide degenerate who is either face first in a dirty magazine or constantly oogling at girls doing aerobics on TV. You have Oolong, the shape-shifting pig constantly collecting women's underwear, and King Kai, who is no better. It amazes me how Toriyama still managed to add these types of characters, even today, because I can't honestly believe people are asking for this. Between these questionable choices for characters, I can't respectively put Dragon Ball Z amongst the greats. Sure, Dragon Ball Z may be harmless, but it doesn't mean it's not offensive. Ah yes, the dreaded power creep, where characters get so strong, and anime gets just too ridiculous to carry. So there was a time when Dragon Ball was just a silly rat race where a boy and a girl team up to find the wish-granting balls before a psychotic emperor gets them. Man, things were so innocent then. Nowadays, it's just a game of who can become the strongest in the universe, and at this point, both Goku and Vegeta have enough power not to only wipe out entire planets, but go toe-to-toe with ancient gods. Meanwhile, the rest of the world, which includes Earth's strongest fighter, basically kick rocks. The power creep renders all other characters to useless screen time, and maybe if they're lucky, commenting on some big battles. What makes it worse is that the previous villains who are very strong lose relevance because the MCs get so strong by the next arc that you can't justifiably bring them back without giving some reason for the massive power bump. Several shonens have followed Dragon Ball Z's footprint, and it's no better. Okay, yes, but that's purposeful and part of the joke. Oh. Look, I can dunk on DBZ all day, but there is a reason why this anime has been so successful. We all grew up watching those iconic moments, like when Goku turned Super Saiyan for the first time, or when Vegeta turned Super Saiyan for the first time, or even when Gohan turned Super Saiyan for the first time. Sorry, I couldn't help myself, but in all seriousness, DBZ has some awesome characters, and Goku shines the brightest. He is a pop culture staple who's helped bring so many people into anime, cosplaying, and even inspired other anime characters who are nearly as iconic. Masashi Kishimoto hasn't been shy about making Naruto in the ilk of Goku, even going as far as giving him the iconic yellow hair and blue eyes that Goku dons in his Super Saiyan form. He also wanted Naruto to be someone who has the will to become the strongest and contain endless power within. Like Toriyama, he created an entire world that centers around this singular story of Naruto trying to become stronger, and it's been an undeniable success. Kishimoto mentioned in an interview about how he was inspired by the iconic series. Quote, "What Dragon Ball taught me is what was fun about manga. What makes a fun story in manga? In fact, I was reading it as it was coming out in weekly installments in Weekly Shonen Jump. So it really taught me what entertainment is and how to keep an audience captivated, and of course, the art influenced me as well." So what have we learned? DBZ is not a particularly good anime, but you can't deny the impact it's had on people like myself and around the world. I understand that no anime is perfect, but these glaring inconsistencies clearly show people shouldn't entertain the idea that DBZ is one of the greatest anime of all time. Now, does this mean I want to live in a world without Dragon Ball Z, or Naruto, or any other anime that stemmed from it? No, and I wouldn't want it any other way either. But I think you need to stop calling it the GOAT. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't by already clicking that platypus to keep up with my latest and greatest. You know you wanna. Oh, and one more thing. Don't forget to stay nerdious.